it's me here, and today you guys will be coming along with me to decorate a cake together. So as some of you may know, I do in fact decorate cakes and I do like to sell them, and honestly it's one of my favorite hobbies and I really love to do it. So today I thought it would be fun to take you guys along the whole process. The cake is pretty much already baked, but I'm going to be taking you guys along the whole decorating process. Today we are going to be making a mocha tres leches cake. Now this is not a tutorial, I'm just showing you guys how I'm going to do it, but if you would like a video on how to do all the piping and all the cake stuff, let me know and I can definitely do that for you guys. Alright guys, well let's just go ahead and get started. I'm super excited to get this done. I have the cake done as well as the frosting, so we're pretty much just going to assemble everything together, and this is going to be a vintage cake. Vintage cake style, I'll put pictures right here, are very popular right now and a lot of people are doing them, and honestly they're the easiest and the most fun types of cakes to make. So that is exactly what we're going to be doing. This is for a birthday, and so we're going to be writing happy birthday on top, and the colors we're going to be going with are a purple scheme of colors. Alright guys, so basically here all I have is my turntable, my cake board. I have my Swiss meringue buttercream, and I love using Swiss meringue buttercream. I've been using it for years now and it's my favorite buttercream. I just think it's generally like perfect. And then for the filling of the cake, we are going to be doing, since this is a mocha tres leches, we have a coffee whipped cream filling with a little bit of cinnamon. So this is what we're going to be filling the cake with. We have 4 cake layers, so let's go ahead and get started. So the very first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to apply a little bit of buttercream onto my cake board, and we're going to go ahead and start putting on the layers. So here I have my first cake layer. I'm just going to go ahead and place it on here. Now we're going to go ahead and wet the cake, since it is a tres leches cake. So we're going to go ahead and move through this a little fast, since the main part I want to focus on is the vintage cake decorating. That cake style is honestly just so pretty, and there's so many things you can do with it, and so I'm excited that that's what we're going to do for this cake. So here I have my tres leches mixture. In here I have sweet condensed milk, evaporated milk, normal whole milk, and some coffee as well. But now I'm just going to go ahead and soak my cakes. Pretty much I'm just going to get them really nice and wet. Now because this is a tiered cake, we can only wet it so much. When I mean tiered cake is like it has layers to it, so we cannot get it super wet or else it's gonna like be drenched everywhere. All right, so as you can see, we have our cake soaking pretty much. We need it to be very nice and wet, since it is a tres leches cake. We cannot disappoint with that. Okay, good. So now that we have our first layer soaked, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Swiss meringue buttercream, and I'm going to create a border around my cake. Literally, I'm just going to take it and go around like this. Now I'm going to take my same offset spatula and just basically bend the border in. Like I'm just going to create kind of like a little barrier so all of our whipped cream doesn't fall out. Now the reason why I'm not just applying the whipped cream directly onto the cake without this border is because the whipped cream filling is very, very slippery, and once we have the cake stacked, it can make the cake move and slide, and it's a lot harder to decorate. So just to prevent issues, we're going to go ahead and do this, but now we're going to take our whipped cream, coffee whipped cream, and we're gonna put that right in there. Now this cake is 4 layers, so we need to remember to evenly distribute the whipped cream. So although this may not seem like a lot, when you cut the cake you'll have 4 layers of whipped cream, so that'll be pretty awesome. Now that we have our first layer pretty much evened out, I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon just so it's nice and warm and cozy and toasty and all that stuff. Go ahead and do our second layer. I'm gonna go ahead and put our second layer on, just very gently placing that on top. I'm gonna remove the parchment paper. Now I do like to place my cakes upside down just so we get a nice even flat layer just like you see here. Once again, I'm gonna go ahead and wet the cake with that same sweet and condensed milk mixture. Like I said, if you guys want a more in-depth tutorial on how to really make this like well, I can totally do that for you guys. Honestly, like I love showing you guys all my tips and tricks that I do. I mean, I've been making cakes for about 2 years now, and literally with every single cake I make, I learn something new. So guys, I'm still learning it too. Same thing as the other layer. Taking our Swiss meringue buttercream, making a border, and we're gonna repeat the exact same steps. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay guys, so we finished yet again another layer. Now a third one. Here we go. We still have one more to go after this one. Alright guys, now we're gonna go ahead and put our last and final layer on. Okay, we have our 4th layer on. Now I know you guys may be like, ew, why is she touching it with her hands? Guys, if only you knew how much I am washing my hands. I'm constantly washing my hands, so do not worry. about that. Okay guys, now that we have all of our layers stacked up and filled, now it is time to go ahead and do our crumb coat. So basically a crumb coat is literally what it means in the name. We are going to be coating the entire cake with a very thin layer of buttercream. That way all of the crumbs on the cake can set in. Here is my bowl of buttercream, a fresh batch that I made today. So I'm just gonna take it and basically start with the outsides and just basically take my way through around the whole cake, just evenly distributing a thin layer of buttercream all throughout. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do our thin layer all throughout the cake, and I will see you guys when it's done. Guys, we are pretty much done with our crumb coat. We're gonna go ahead and now put it in the fridge for around 20 to 30 minutes just so our buttercream can set. Let's go ahead and take this to the fridge and I will see you guys in around 20 minutes. Okay guys, so now we have our crumb coated cake. I have my purple buttercream here. All right, so I'm still using an offset spatula, but a much bigger one just because it's much quicker to frost the cake. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm just gonna take a big amount of my buttercream and just plop it right on top. And now we're just gonna start smoothing it off. I know it kind of looks pink in the camera, but trust me, it's like a really nice like light purple. And yeah, I like to start off on the top and make a smooth base up here. Now that it's pretty smooth up here, I'm gonna go ahead and basically frost the sides of the cake. I'm just gonna take my buttercream and literally go on the sides of the cake and just apply a good even layer all throughout the cake, and then we will go ahead and smooth it out. Alright, so now that we have frosted our cake, we can see it's very ugly, pretty much. But we're going to take a bench scraper and go ahead and smooth it all out. So these are what bench scrapers are, and there is a metal one and a plastic one. I personally just prefer to use a plastic one. I know a lot of people love the metal one. I'm just gonna go ahead and start smoothing the cake out. This is probably my least favorite part. I'm gonna try and get this over with as fast as possible. Any areas where I have like little open gaps, I have like little, you can see here I have like a big kind of air pocket bubble. I'm gonna go ahead, take a little bit of buttercream, just put it on there, and then once I start smoothing the cake out, it'll look much better. So now we have our cake pretty smoothed out. I'm gonna go ahead and flatten down the top. Okay guys, so now that our cake is all nice and frosted, it is time to actually do the fun piping that goes all around the cake. So here are the tips I'm going to be using, and here are the piping bags that we'll be using as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and put in my buttercreams in the piping bag with the piping tip. Here are our different buttercreams. This is a darker purple and this is a lighter purple. Now I'm just filling my piping bag with our buttercream. Let's go ahead and do the first shell piping, which I'm super excited for. Basically, I'm going to be taking the Wilton 4B tip and I'm going to be doing a simple shell piping all around the bottom of the cake. Alright guys, so as you can see, we did both of the shell pipings. We have a light purple and a darker purple. Now we're going to go ahead and do this exact same piping that we have at the bottom, the bigger one, and we're going to go ahead and do this on top. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a toothpick and basically make like little circles to go around the cake, because that's going to be some like vintage piping that we're going to do all around it. So I'm just going to kind of mark out where I'm going to frost it. Now I'm going to take the Wilton leaf tip and go ahead and put some frosting in here. quickly though, before I do this outside piping, I'm going to take that same piping that I did right here. I'm gonna go ahead and do that on the inside of my cake. Alright guys, so we are all done with our cake and I honestly love it so much. Here it is, you guys. I feel like we got a really nice look at it. The colors are so pretty and they complement each other so well. Like I said, I went ahead and I wrote happy birthday. I hate writing on cakes, but for some reason this one came out sort of okay. But anyways guys, that is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm so happy you all were able to come along with me as I made this super cute vintage cake. This kind of cake is generally my favorite, and so whenever I get an order like this, I get super excited because it is right up in my alley. Like I said guys, don't forget to follow my baking Instagram. It is lucia.bakes1 on Instagram. Alright guys, well that is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye guys!